Akademiks can't ride no wave.
The Justice Department have said that Live Nation, they've broken. All right, let me see. They said the Justice Department is blaming Ticketmaster and Live Nation for the broken concert ticket industry. Now, I'll read real quickly. It says a U.S. justice lawyer has told jurors at a civil antitrust trial that the concert industry is broken because Ticketmaster and its parent Live Nation Entertainment have monopolized the market, driving up prices for consumers, but the companies say the government is wrong. David Delquist, an attorney for the Justice Department Antitrust Division, and if you don't know what that means, basically the government is basically taking the Justice Department, the Justice Department and their U.S. attorneys, they're taking Live Nation to court to say they have monopolized concert promotion and ticketing, and it's unconstitutional and it's anti-competitive because when you have that monopoly, you could drive up prices without anyone being able to compete. So, for example, it says they said, listen, the United States and 39 states are counted on the Manhattan jury to end the monopoly and reward artists with a competitive marketplace will leave them with more money. This case is about power and the power of monopolists to control the competition. It said today the concert ticket industry is broken. He says, listen, they're arguing on the behalf of other companies. Well, no, David Marriott's arguing on behalf of Live Nation. Says we let the numbers do the talking. We don't have monopoly. Now, this is the same guy who was Diddy's lawyer. So Judge Arun, not Diddy's lawyer, I'm sorry, Diddy's judge. Judge Arun Subramanian has told the jurors that the evidence will be presented over the next 6 weeks. So it's going to be a 6-week civil trial, okay? After which they'll be left to decide whether Live Nation and Ticketmaster broke antitrust laws. The trial stems from a lawsuit in 2024 that alleged that the companies have dominated the ticket industry by suffocating competitions, controlling everything from concert promotion to ticketing, okay? Ticketmaster, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on what happens during this because, there was a few things that notably kind of caused this lawsuit to be filed. First of all, Taylor Swift tour and some of these very lucrative tour that made billions, it was kind of like seeing that not only did Live Nation control the tour, the venues and all that type of stuff that the tour was going to be at, they control how tickets were going to be sold and disseminated and how the consumers could try to get a chance to get a ticket even as further as saying possibly get a ticket for maybe a cheaper price or a lower rate. Because they knew the demand was there, they created very distinct means and measures to heighten up the price and, possibly at times they're saying allowed resellers to kind of like buy the tickets from them instead of actually honest consumers and then resell it at such a high price that people are, you're paying now $2,000 to go to a Taylor Swift concert. I've told you guys, this is like a fact. I had something replaced in my house by a contractor. It's this white guy. He doesn't even know what I do. Sometimes they'll come and they'll be like, well, you're the only black guy on the block, or they might look at the cars and they'll be like, maybe you do something in hip hop. And the guy didn't really know me, just an average white guy. And I guess he came in, I have a bunch of plaques like in my, like one of my rooms by the foyer. So he sees a bunch of plaques and I guess he realized, oh, this guy's in the music business. So I was like, yeah, whatever. And, he doesn't really mention anything of it. He does his work. I eventually pay him, but he says this to me. He's like, yo, listen, hey, before you pay me, I'm not that type of guy and I don't really know exactly what you do, but my daughter is a huge Taylor Swift fan. Her concert at MetLife Stadium is completely sold out. If you could get me 2 tickets to the show, I said, how did it sell out? Why didn't you get it there? He said, the tickets sold out in seconds. I'm like, what the fuck? Taylor Swift sold out 55,000 tickets like this. Bang! So he said to me, he's like, yo, I'll give you this huge discount. Like, I'll discount my rate by, I think it was like $3,000. Just get me 2 tickets, please. And I was like, fuck, niggas really care like that. But it goes into what people are suing for. They're like, people felt that, most of these tickets, yes, it sold out in 2 seconds, but most of the tickets became available after the initial sale on these third-party sites. And instead of the tickets actually going for $500, which that's what it was really listed for, it's now $1,800, $2,000, $3,000. And that's one of the reasons that they're suing Ticketmaster, because they're saying Live Nation has monopolized even selling tickets. It's allowed that there isn't a competitor that fans could have any other chance of initially getting it at a cheap price. If they didn't get it from Ticketmaster, they got to spend 3 times the amount of money to get it on a third-party site. And that's the problem, right? So they're saying the anti-competitive practices include long-term contracts ranging from 5 to 7 years, keeping venues to keep venues from choosing rivals and blocking venues from using multiple ticket sellers. I'll be honest with you. Today, so for our Miami show, I'm selling tickets myself, and I really enjoy it, low key. We get to designate everything about it, and I like it. So I told my assistant, I said, hey, listen, we're doing my birthday show again in New York. I said, could we? I want to let us do the ticket, because I'm like really an independent type of guy. And my assistant's like, all right, cool. I'll ask the venue. The venue's Gramercy Theater. It's a Live Nation venue. And we asked them, we said, hey, could we, we're already doing ticket sales over here. We have a whole list of people that's already in our ecosystem. We could kind of market to them and sell tickets to them directly. We may not need your ticket infrastructure, so we don't need Ticketmaster. We could just sell the tickets ourselves. They responded back really quickly. They said, no show is allowed in our building that's not being sold via Ticketmaster, straight up. So if you don't use our ticketing system, fuck out of here. So we're selling tickets on their shit. Like it's not even like an option. So basically, you have no option. You want to do a show here, you got to use our shit, and we're gonna take our fees, and we're gonna do whatever. They make it to the point where after a while you feel finessed. Now I don't necessarily feel finessed. These people are kind of good people, but when you think about the grand scheme of things, say you're going to go to some of these venues, they have all these long contracts. They're going to make sure that they get the parking, they get the food, they get essentially everything of it. And it becomes almost like this bottleneck feel in terms of throwing a show or something like that. It's straight up monopoly. And that's why they're being sued. The lore about Live Nation goes even further than that. Live Nation has been accused of, for example, when people don't take their contracts or don't take their deals for tours, they'll sabotage with bad promo. You remember I talked about, negative promo? Well, if you ever start seeing this tour is flopping, and there's mad promo around it, it's usually because some company's promoting it. I'll give you an example. I don't really necessarily care for this person, but it's not the only person it happened with, because they happened, I believe, as well when Sexy Red went on tour. But Lil Baby was offered $650,000 from Live Nation. This is back in the day. That's when he was really hot. Not the fellow off Lil Baby now who's running around with his hand on Spider's thigh. We're talking about Lil Baby coming off the heels of it. My Turn. Okay, he's about to do a arena tour, and of course, you just always remember the thought of Lil Baby thumbing through a check and he's doing the motion, but his brain ain't working, and he's like this hustler guy, right? So Live Nation comes to him and says, we're going to give you $650,000 per show. Go do these arenas, okay? I forgot how many dates, but go do these arenas. Before he signs the deal, P, who's his boss, actually has a conversation with a independent promotional company that, they said, hey, well, we have some contracts with some of these bigger venues, and we could get you dates as well. If you do it with us, instead of Live Nation, how much are they giving you? Well, I don't even think they even asked her how much. They guarantee Lil Baby $950,000. Now the difference is $300,000 a show, right? First of all, Lil Baby ain't that slow, but you don't need to be a smart guy to realize $650,000 versus $950,000. That's $300,000 per show, an increase. So essentially, what he does, he basically says, "Hey, Live Nation, kick rocks for a bit. I'm doing this tour with these people. Their name is AG or AG. I can't remember which it is. AG Touring." And essentially, what happens is, from the tour starts till the end, there was a constant barrage of videos and super promo that went out that showed, hey, Lil Baby didn't sell this. Lil Baby tour is flopping. And essentially, it's not that it's not that it was flopping. It was just that he wasn't selling out every event. But they would take the ones that weren't being sold out and would just kind of exacerbate it to make it seem like nobody was there, right? And you know, without making direct accusations, a lot of people felt that came from Live Nation. It was to kind of like let the artist know, Lil Baby, like, yo, you know how he just ran into Mike Rubin arms? Well, motherfucker, don't run off the plantation. You can't get around us, Live Nation. And when we say you deserve $650, motherfucker, you take $650. Because when you take $650, these arenas, after what we do, remember, we control the ticket in the door, the concession stands, the parking, we control everything, and the promo. We own the sites. We could just plaster your shit up there that you get more sales. When you go around us, you flop. And I'm not going to lie, that's a really dope business model, except it becomes anti-competitive. If we don't take the shitty deal from y'all, we look like we flopped. If we take the deal, we miss out on money. It is what it is. Now, again, I can find a tour, Lil Baby tour. Just type in Lil Baby tour flop, and that would be the tour. Okay, so it's a 2023 tour. It's only, this is one. Yeah. Okay? Look, everybody sold money. Joe Budden, low ticket sales. Lost all the audience. Can't sell tickets no more, right? Now, if you look at that tour, it's called It's Only Us. Lil Baby, It's Only Us tour. For you to figure out what's really behind it, you click on the tour. Okay, you click on the tour. Let's see. Could we find it? I guess we got to use this right here. No. I just need the flyer. I need the raw flyer. The raw flyer will tell us what it is. Okay, I think, is this, okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so when you click on the tour, on the flyer, you'll notice here, right here is supposed to be where it says Live Nation. Live Nation's not on it. You ain't gonna win without Massa. This is why these niggas jumping into Mike Rubin's hand. You can't win without Massa, straight up. It don't matter what you're doing. So when you go out, and by the way, I've spoken to the people who own this. These are African American brothers. We ain't gonna let no bunch of niggas come in here, claim that they're giving out extra bread. You know, they're paying more than Live Nation and have a successful tour. Fuck out of here. So essentially, Lil Baby tried to take extra money, and Live Nation make sure that nigga knew it's a Michael Rubin treatment. Nigga, get in line. We're gonna give you the reverse double stuffed Oreo hug, nigga, and you're gonna enjoy it. That's it. So after that, you realize, by the way, was the Wham tour Live Nation, or did he learn his lesson? I think that left a salty taste in his mouth. Pause. Wham tour. How did that one do? Let's see. We just got to look at the flyer. The flyer will tell you everything. You're supposed to see a big Live Nation thing on it. If you don't see Live Nation on it, brother, that's a problem. Live Nation owns all this shit. They feel like they own you. Straight up. Okay, let's just go to Wham Tour. Whamtour.com. Whamtour.com. And I'm not picking on Lil Baby. It's just that he's one of the artists that I know it happened to. They tried to do it to Rod Wave, but Rod Wave was really selling tickets. Like, no disrespect to Lil Baby. Well, actually, I don't give a fuck if I disrespect him. Live Nation, because Rod Wave went with another company too. But Rod Wave was really selling it. Like, you know, Rod Wave told me directly from his mouth. He said, yo, Ak, I ain't gonna lie to you. Live Nation flew to one of my shows, and they offered me a second deal. They wanted me to really get with them. But then these guys upped their deal because we were selling over capacity. Rod Wave is a ticket seller. He put asses in seats. You get what I'm saying? He puts asses in seats. Let me tell you this. Rod Wave is a different monster. Your favorite rapper ain't selling tickets like Rod Wave. That boy gonna put asses in them seats. Trust me. It's something about, you know, maybe it's because Lil Baby making all this chicken music, like niggas can't really identify to it too much. But Rod Wave, when he's singing about all them feelings, I got my heart on ice. People gonna be in them seats. And they're singing in that shit. They are, trust me. Let me see. Click here. All right. Tour. Let's see what the tour says. Did the tour not go down? Wham tour. There was a Wham tour. Wham tour. Oh, no. Okay. All right, here we go. Billboard, We'll be able to tell right here. Come on, don't block me off from here. No, I'm not signing up. Who's behind the tour? You always gotta look who's behind the tour. Okay. Find all the dates of the Wham tour. Okay, here we go. But I can't see if it's is it Live Nation or not? I can't see it. Yeah, it doesn't show. Well, I'll just Google it. Live Nation presents Wham Tour. Is it a Wham Tour? That's what it's called? Or maybe it's AG. Okay. Oh, yeah. Never mind. You see Live Nation? So they whip back in line. Fuck out of here. Don't ever leave the plantation, Lil Baby. You too stupid anyway. Lil Baby's the type of slave. He break off the plantation and he come right back. He think he on some Christopher Columbus shit. He walk right back in the master's house. Stupid ass nigga. You know what it is with him. You know. Oh shit. We out of here. We out of here. We out of here. He running. He end up right back at master's house. Nigga, you did a whole circle, stupid. Yep. So he went with AG. They claimed that whole tour flopped. And essentially, they whipped his ass back in position, and he got right back with Live Nation. And you'll notice, which, by the way, think about this. It's only us. Remember, he just dropped It's Only Me. That album, even though I didn't like, well, you dissed me on the album. That album did 200 and like something thousand. That tour, they're saying that flopped. So the tour after his highest selling album flopped. But then when he dropped his weak ass leaks and all that bullshit, and this last year when he dropped Wham, which that shit like only did like 100 or something, right? Half of them which were like paid for. That shit had no problems. No, it's Live Nation. Live Nation is not gonna make you look like you flopped. This is why when niggas were saying that Beyonce was gonna flop, those were the other companies trying to make Live Nation look bad. You can't make Live Nation look bad. It's Live Nation, nigga. You think Live Nation gonna do a fucking stadium tour with Beyonce and the shit flops? Are you dumb? Fuck no. Can't do that shit. Don't work. So that happens. Also, it's a reason why. It's a reason. Hey, Drake don't go against him. Drake know what type of time it is. But Drake with that money. Like, yeah, Drake could probably go somewhere else and get like $5 million a show, but he'll take the four. It's a blur. I mean, Drake is literally on text message saying I'm a slave to Live Nation. Like, it literally is, right? Drake, slave, Live. He's literally on texting Johnny Green. Not Johnny Green. Johnny Blaze. He literally just texted her like, yo, bro, I'm a slave to Live Nation. Yeah, Live Nation. Those the guys. You can't go around Live Nation. Of course they're a monopoly. What the fuck?
Good in my heart.
Look, there's an actual direct message. Oh, right here. Oh, yeah. She's begging him to hang out. And Drake literally says, I respect this a lot, and I hear you loud and clear. I want to hang out with you. Like, she's begging to fuck him. Yo, you ever had a girl on your phone, like, yo, just begging you for the dick? Like, holy. He says, right now my life is on slave to Live Nation mode. Yeah. I can't. Hey, yo. Even Aubrey, nobody gets around that bit. Nobody. It's a Live Nation, nigga. Nobody gets around that. So please don't take it personal. If Drake can't get around it, Lil Baby, bring your $2 on his belt, nigga. Yes. 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 That's what happens. What you thought? Kendrick got around it? Nope. He fell in line too. What's it called? GNX National Tour. You know, definitely that's yo. For a nigga who claim he's like mad pro-black, he go with all the white institutions. I even go like he don't even try to bucket the system. At least like niggas like Prince back in the day was like, oh, let's fight the system. Like Kendrick is like the house Negro who's like on his off day, he's preaching like he's like really revolutionizing shit. Fuck out of here. Live Nation. You're gonna see Live Nation. Where is it at? You gotta make sure Live Nation is being seen. Yeah, let's go to this. Yeah, right here. Yep, right here. PG Lang, TDE, Cash App, and Live Nation, nigga. Like, he know what type of time it is. You feel me? He know what type of time it is. Yep. Bring your Kendrick. Catch his belt. Yep, nigga. Yo, Live Nation, I play with none of these niggas. Straight up. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm proud of Rod Wave for as much as he been rocking without him, but Rod, I hope they don't ever get you in line. But the rest of them niggas, you Negroes cannot leave the plantation. Live Nation is your pappy, and you will sit here. And when he says, what's your name, boy? Wham! My name is Wham! 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 All right. Perfect. We're done with that little segment. Done with that. So Live Nation is being targeted. We'll see what happens. Now, here's honestly what I think is going to happen. Like, of course Live Nation got a monopoly going on, nigga. What the fuck? Like, of course Live Nation got a monopoly. But they have so much money. And just like, it's like business as usual. They're going to throw some distractions in, pay some people off. And some way that this DOJ that's going at them, really, they just got to survive until they could get a Democrat president in 4 years that's going to influence the DOJ to forget all about this. So they got to survive this next, like, what is it? Trump's getting out in 28. So pay some money, try to drag this out, even though this is going to come down to a ruling in 6 weeks. How is this going to affect regulatory stuff? Because let's say they get found liable for, creating an anti-competitive market. They're going to have to pay some money in a ruling. They're going to, of course, appeal this and third. But then that allows for, regulators to actually push forward in more court proceedings to force a breakup or some type of, divesting or something of the sort. So we're going to kind of see what's up, but it's going to be interesting. All right. Enough business stuff, enough like above the shoulder stuff. I think we've been smart today. Has the Academy been good to y'all? Y'all learned a few things. We checked the box of we're smart. We're not only here for fuckery. Did we? Have we? Because it's time for the bullshit. I ain't gonna cap with you. Like,